Man, so it seems like a lot of people don't really know my story. That's the issue. That's the problem that I've realized is solvable by me just telling my story. So, I don't know how long this is going to last. I'm just going to tell you my story as quickly as possible and as simply as possible. My name is Michael Prince. I'm 23 years old. I originate from 3rd Ward, Houston, Texas. And I play the violin. How did I start playing the violin? I don't know. It called me. The instrument got up and walked to me and said, Michael, I am yours. Just kidding. When I was in, 1st grade? We got to choose an instrument. Shout out Parker Elementary, music magnet schools. Arts funding, arts education. We went to Parker Elementary. That was not in our neighborhood. The school we were zoned to, I don't believe it had a violin program. So we went, across the city for violin, for lessons, for school, elementary, and I learned how to play the violin. I picked it up and I didn't stop playing. And I haven't stopped playing. Played it in middle school. Went to high school, went to the high school for the performing and visual arts. For violin, it's a primarily arts-focused school. You learn how to play instruments. You learn how to, you don't really learn. They refine your already learned skills because it's required. You're required to audition to get into school. So yeah, I auditioned. Up until that point, I'd been just playing super long. It's not like I was never like the coldest or the best or the one that practiced the most. I was just like, man, I've just been doing this my whole life, so I might as well just keep doing it. So, got into that high school, went to high school. I've always wanted to be an engineer. Like, that was my lifetime passion, my lifetime goal and dream until I got to AP Calculus. Pre-calculus was a breeze. It was easy. I think I got like 100. Either 100 or 90 something, but like, it was easy. Then I got to AP Calculus, realized it was so hard, realized that engineering calculus was a thing that I would have to approach. So I was like, nah, let me chill. Let me just do, what I love to do, which was play the violin, make music. Went to University of Oklahoma for music education. 2 years into music education, I was like, I don't want to necessarily only teach. Teaching has always been a passion of mine, has been a lifelong dream and goal to teach, but I just wasn't really feeling the school route, the lesson plan route. I remember the first time I student taught in a high school, I realized that entry-level positions would put me with a beginning orchestra, and that wasn't really what I envisioned when I wanted to, inspire the youth. So I switched my major to just violin performance, and I laid out a roadmap. I wanted to go to University of North Texas for jazz violin and study with Scott Tissier. He is jazz violin professor, jazz violin GOAT. He has Grammys. Yeah, so I wanted to do that master's degree. I wanted to get a doctorate in conducting, so I would be able to conduct ensembles and basically be just like free to, travel places, inspire people versus just being like stuck in one school because I didn't have like the credentials to be able to, teach. Lil Russell came along in 2022, I believe. May 2022. Yep, May 2022. I'd seen a TikTok. I saw him rapping outside Boss Market Blues. He said, Boss Market Blues, hooping with holes in my shoes. That's, boom, snapped. Caught my ear, caught my attention. I had hooped with holes in my shoes, gotten, bullied for it growing up. So I was like, man, this is the first time I actually identified with something that was said in a rap. Because usually I just listen to the beats. Being a musician growing up, like I really can't just focus on lyrics. The musical components are way more distracting than the words are for me, basically. So, long story short, I ended up at the Pergola in October of 2022. It was my first Pergola concert. I came to a backyard, took a leap of faith, met a rapper I didn't know, and it was like something crazy, something different. I started playing, this was the first rehearsal. I started playing, the Russell started rapping, Swaggy B took out the beat, I kept playing, the Russell kept rapping, and it was the first time that I realized, man, I don't need to overthink what I'm playing at all, because growing up where I grew up in Houston, everybody was a black violinist. Everybody played the violin. So it's like, you had to be great and exceptional just to, stick out above everyone else. But going to Vallejo, they had never seen a violinist, much less a black violinist. So it was like I was like an anomaly. And, we immediately just started touring. He brought me back for another show. This was while I was still in college. I was going into my senior year of college. And basically, like, every weekend, I'd be flying out, back and forth. I'd have a class on Friday, hop on a plane on Saturday, probably have a show on Sunday, then come. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was every weekend, almost every weekend, going back and forth doing a show. And man, it's just honestly grown into something crazy. Like, when I first got out there, I was like, okay, he has something going on for real. Like, there are people coming to his backyard for a performance. Like, that's, yeah. And then it's just like, I didn't really schedule out anything, like any of my own music, any, gigs or bookings, because it's like I have so much faith in the Russell's journey and the Russell's trajectory, where it's like I'm just soaking up everything I can, almost like he's been a mentor. He's showing me what to do. Fast forward, excuse my stomach, I need some beef jerky. Fast forward or rewind to Finesse. Many people don't know. I started releasing music independently. Shout out Lil Russell. He gave me the tools. He gave me the infrastructure to release music independently and instrumental music independently. And so I just started putting up the shots. I just started posting music, posting content, watching my platform grow. And I was like super confused, because it's like my platform was growing, but my pockets weren't growing. I assumed that, with the social media fame and everything comes like money, which was very false. I had to learn that. Russell told me, give it a year. Then the next year, he told me, give it a year. And then I had a song hit the Billboard, TikTok, whatever, top 50, go viral. Like, and so when that happened, I was really just like, man, I see the vision. I understand the vision. I understand that you don't need a label deal, a record deal, none of that to get your foot in the door of the music industry, to make money independently. Like, so it's just been like a learning process, honestly. We just been touring. It's like, imagine a bucket list for a musician being completed within 3 years just because you put in the work required to do whatever it is what was on your bucket list. Like, put a bunch of things on your bucket list, start doing the work, and then it just happens magically. That's what the last 3 years have been like. And it's like, it all started with just doing the work, with just taking the leap of faith, going to Vallejo, ending up in the Bay Area. The Bay Area is now my second home. It's like I'm really here more than I am back in Houston. The vision is Houston. Oh, yeah, the vision. Let's talk about my vision, which is Hood Orchestra. I began Hood Orchestra in officially 2023 or 2024, I don't know. It was like December 2023, I think. And it was just when I went back home for like a month while Russell was kind of taking like a break from, running around and doing a bunch of shows. And I was at home, and I went back to my high school, HSPVA, and I taught a master class. It wasn't really a master class. I just, played for them, and I was like, hey, y'all want to play something? And I had been recording. I just happened to have my camera, because Russell said, document everything. I had my camera, and I posted that video, and it hit 7 million views from like a 30-second clip. And all the comments were like, do you teach? Come teach. Like this, that. And I was like, wait a minute. Rewind to the vision that I said before of how I wanted to always teach. Like, that's always been a goal. And I wanted to teach with the credentials required to, just travel and go all these places. But then I realized, whoa, there's a demand. And the demand is from the teachers themselves, not the system. So I just started reaching out to the people, the teachers. Teachers brought me in. I didn't charge anything. It was just out of the goodness of my heart. And then I realized, man, there's a real lack of arts education nowadays, because it's like the funding has just been depleted and passed over to the STEM departments. And like, you can really inspire so many people by just existing as an anomaly. Like I was talking about going back to Vallejo for the first time and them seeing a black person playing the violin. Like, me going into schools and being a black person playing the violin is a very, 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 very powerful statement to a lot of just young people, and especially young people of color. And so that's just been my mission, man. We're just laying the bricks, just continuously laying the bricks, doing concerts, doing master classes, doing jam sessions. This is just the bricklaying process. We haven't gotten a single grant, and we've been doing all this work. funded straight by the people. I think the first Hood Orchestra, what's that called, man? Fundraiser. It was around like $10,000 that we raised from the people. So it's like, man, we've just been, we have the vision. We know what we need to do to enact the vision. We're just continuing to do that until someone drops a few million in our hands so that we can do it across the world. But yeah, that's where I am now. Just pushing ahead with the nonprofit, pushing ahead with LaRussell's tour. LaRussell's the biggest artist in the world right now. He's the biggest artist in the world. The media makes people seem like the biggest artist in the world, but he's the biggest artist in the world. It's kind of crazy. And it's kind of crazy to see how he's done it independently and just... He's started a movement in the Bay Area, in this community, that is something that we've never seen before, honestly. I've never seen it before. I've never seen a person that has so much just brain capacity to do everything he does independently, which is why I look up to him. And I just trying to build the same thing. I'm trying to build a good company in Houston. But yeah. What else? What else is really important in my story? Man, I just had to learn how to be patient. Because it doesn't happen overnight. It's like it happens overnight in like the context of a lifespan, but everything that led up to it happening overnight is what made it happen overnight. If that makes sense. Like, it's been years. This has been years in the making. All of the violin lessons, all of the teaching, courses, my music education courses. That's why I'm able to be so confident in the classroom, is because we did learn lesson plans and we did learn, how to keep the students' attention, how their attention spans are like this. How to engage a classroom. So it's like, it's all led up to this moment, which is why I can just be so confident and just letting whatever comes next come. Because like, I'm ready, I'm locked in. But yeah, that's my story. If I missed anything or left anything out, I don't care. Have a beautiful day. I hope this was recording. I really do. I really hope this was recording, man. Getting out that chair like the old head. Ooh, stop playing, boy.